Okay, good morning, everybody. Today is April 21st, 2020. So you want to make sure that you are grabbing your packet that says April 20th, 23rd. And remember not to work ahead, that we are going to use the schedule that you see here, which you should have already started for the day. And we did complete Monday yesterday. We will go over answers to Monday tomorrow. So you should be flipping past Monday and going into Tuesday. Okay, so with Tuesday's work, we're going to continue practicing using the syllable L-E, L. And for today's class, I did bring my highlighter. So you might want to go through where we're saying practice, spelling consonant plus L-E syllables. I'm sorry, I think I called L-E a consonant. It's actually the syllable L-E. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight my syllables LE because this is going to help me with reading. And if you pay attention to your patterns, you'll see that, okay, if I know this 3-letter word, lit, then I can read this longer word because all I'm doing is adding the syllable l. So it, little, right? So set, settle, rip, ripple, paddle, middle, and then bubble, okay? So if you only have one syllable, you're going to have a consonant, a vowel, and a consonant. So one syllable like lit, I can only hear one syllable in the word lit. So at number 1, I write lit. And I'm going to cross off lit because I'm done. Okay, now words with 2 syllables are going to have your CVC word, but then you're also going to have your LE syllable. So a 2-syllable would be little. Okay, so you're going to fill in all your answers using your list like this. Now, in B, it says rhyme time. Write the spelling word that rhymes with each of these words, okay? So number 1, slip. Which word rhymes with slip? And you want to really look at probably your ending sound, right? So let's see. Okay, that ends with the same letter. So let's see. Rip, slip. Does that rhyme? Yes, it does. If you want to challenge yourself, you could even write some more, okay? Rips, slip, rip. How about tip and flip? So maybe challenge yourself and write a few more after you do that, okay? And then you'll do 12, 13, and 14 on your own. Okay, with language arts, we are continuing looking at common and proper nouns. And again, I brought my highlighter with me today, yay! You can do this with a crayon, or if you just want to circle the word with your pencil or your pen, you could do that too. So we know that a common noun tells what a thing is, which could be a person, place, or thing. So you might even want to write that. You could write person, place, or thing is what a common noun is. And a proper noun tells a thing's name, okay? So a common noun, we practiced this yesterday. A common noun could be a car, and a proper noun could be a Ford Mustang, because that name's an actual kind of car, right? And those have to be capitalized. Okay, so it says a proper noun, and I might highlight that too. A proper noun begins with a capital letter, and sometimes it can be more than one word, just like we see here, Ford Mustang. So your directions say write a C if it's a common noun and write a P if it's a proper noun. So cat would be C. It's a common noun. That is a thing. We would call that a thing. And maybe you even want to write if it's a common noun, is it a person, place, or a thing? So number 2, Disneyland, would that be a common noun naming a thing, or is it telling an actual name? And we know that it is telling an actual name. It's also capitalized, so it's definitely a proper noun, okay? I'll help you with number 3. And number 3, is this a common noun just telling what a thing is, or is it a proper noun giving me an actual name? So library, that's definitely going to be a thing, or actually it could be a place, right? So we'll write place, and then we'll put common noun. And maybe under, if you want to give an example of library for a proper noun, you could write Week's Library, where we went on a field trip. That would be a proper noun version, okay? All right, so some ways to make this more challenging for yourself if you want to. Okay, on your next page, it says draw a line from each common noun to the proper noun that fits it. So girl would go to Lisa. All right, so these are your common nouns and these are your proper nouns, and you can label that if you want. Here's your common nouns, and here's your proper nouns. All right. Okay, and then down at the bottom, write C if the underlined word is a common noun, and write P if the underlined word is a proper noun. So number 1, it says today is Christmas, capitalized names and actual holidays, so this is a proper noun, okay? Good job. Okay, so now we're gonna go into complex word problems, all right? And you have to write an equation and then solve the problem. So we're gonna do number 1 together. We're gonna practice number 2, and the rest you'll do alone. Marion has a collection of toy cars. She gave 28 cars to her brother Simon. Marion has 58 cars left. How many cars did she have to give with? Did she have to begin with? So here's what's important. She gives 28 cars to her brother. She has 57 cars left, okay? So there's an unknown number here, right? So she had some number of cars. We don't know how many she had. She gave 28 cars to her brother Simon, and then she ends up with 57 left, right? And I'm gonna write her name under here. So our unknown is how many cars did Marion start with? So what do we have to do? We have to do the opposite of what operation we see in the equation. So we see subtraction here, which actually means we're gonna take our two numbers, the difference, and then this number here, and you're going to add them together. So you're gonna go 57 plus 28 equals, so 7 plus 8. Okay, well, I know that 7 plus 7 is 14, so I just add one more, and that gives me 15. I put my 5 in my ones place. I carry my 1 over to my tens. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so again, how many did she have to begin with? Marion had 58, and then what is the label? It's toy cars, or 85, not 58, sorry, toy cars to begin with, okay? All right, now I'm gonna set you up over here just to get you started, okay? It says in September, Mr. Shaw planted some tulip bulbs. In October, he planted 35 more bulbs. All together, a really important word. He planted 81 bulbs. How many did he plant in September? Okay, so the unknown is September, right? We don't know how many he planted in September. We do know that he planted 35 in October, and we do know that all together, September plus October, we have 81. So again, all we have to do is take the opposite operation of the equation. So we take the sum 81, we subtract 35, and then we should get how many bulbs were there in, or how many bulbs he planted in September. Okay, so that's what you're working on. I would recommend using a crayon. You could use a yellow crayon to highlight if you don't have a highlighter, but also really important to be pointing out your important words there. Okay, so today, this is kind of the long assignment. You're gonna work on your rough draft from your writing that you did yesterday. So yesterday you should have done a brainstorm, and your brainstorm was on your sibling. So all you're gonna need to do is flip back and forth between this graphic organizer and your rough draft, okay? And yes, you're gonna be writing 5 paragraphs. So you'll write 1 paragraph using your main idea, 1 paragraph for detail 1, 1 paragraph for detail 2, 1 paragraph for detail 3, and then 1 paragraph for detail 4. So I love to have a sibling is what I started off with my main idea. And I indent, I love having a sibling. Now remember, I'm not going to go into my details yet. I'm just going to explain as an opening what I'm going to be writing about. So I love having a sibling. My sister's name is Laura. And then maybe I want to say that she is 4 years older than me. She is 4 years older than me. She makes my life better. So I just want to make kind of a positive statement, okay? Now I'm going to go to my first detail. So I'm flipping back and looking, first, and then he uses a comma. So I'm going to write first about how she helps me. So I go to a new line, I indent, I put a comma, and this is very important. It's an important second grade skill that we're using first, your transitions. First, my sister helps me. And now I'm going to write at least 2 sentences about how she helps me. This is my detail sentence. Now I'm going to elaborate. How does she help me? She would help me with my homework. Sometimes she'd even help me get my chores done. All right, good enough. As long as you have 3 sentences, you're good, but you can go and do 2 more if you want. All right, what's my next detail? Next, she makes me laugh. Okay, so I go to a new line, I indent, capitalizing the first word in the sentence. I follow my transition with a comma. Next, she makes me laugh. When we are together, we joke around a lot. And a lot is 2 separate words. A lot of people put them together. Even when there is nothing to do, we find reasons to laugh with one another. Okay, now I'm going to go to paragraph 4. We do things together. All right. And that starts with then, comma. My sister and I do things together. Now I'm going to give an example. We go shopping, comma, go to the beach, comma, and just hang out. I enjoy doing things with her. Okay? Now you have a whole other page, and this is, I'm going to do my last paragraph. On the graphic organizer, the transition you have is last. You can use last, or Miss Rulo's class has been using in conclusion a lot, so I'm going to use in conclusion. So I'm going to write in conclusion, and now we put all 3 details together. Stop. I like having a sister to laugh with. What were my 3 details? Laugh do things with, and to help me. Life is better when you have a sibling. Okay? So that's going to be all I'm going to do for my rough draft. Tomorrow you are going to have somebody edit and revise, meaning that they're going to be checking to make sure you use capitals, punctuations. We've talked about this in class. You don't need to worry too much about spelling with your rough draft. Good writers just get their ideas down first. Tomorrow, after we have all your ideas down, we'll get somebody to go back and check for your spelling errors. But don't worry too much about spelling. Just worry about getting all your ideas out of your mind and onto your sheet of paper. Don't forget to also do your Freckle, your Raz Kids, your Prodigy. Lots of you are doing IXL today. And I will be posting an AR book later today, okay? Be nice to your brothers and sisters and have a great Tuesday. Bye.